So I was recommended to this particular dating coach here on TikTok. Her name is Deidre. Okay, shout out to her. Dating with Deidre. She gives a lot of good information for women. I think she's fair. Check her out. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be blowing up pretty soon. Tell her that your boy O'Shea sent you. And I want to review some things about how some brothers out here are being rejected, and she's teaching women how to deal with it. So let's get into the video and see what's going on here.
Men sometimes experience rejection fatigue after years of going for what they want and continuously being denied, which leaves them less likely to approach women going forward. And unfortunately for women who are not comfortable shooting their shot, that means they get passed up and overlooked because that man is waiting for someone to give him the green light. He may be interested in you, but he needs to know that it's okay to approach you, that you are welcoming of his advances and his intentions. Otherwise, he'd probably rather preserve his energy for something that's really going to be rewarding, not something. Instead of going over here and trying to talk to this girl who probably ain't going to receive me, I'd rather just go hang out with the fellas and have a good time, get my tank filled up with my boys, than trying to find someone else who's going to fill my love tank on the relationship side. You understand? So there's levels to it, but at some point you got to get comfortable shooting your shot. And again, that only means letting him know that you're interested and open and you welcome his intentions or his pursuit or advances. Okay, that's it. And this whole being chosen thing, that's a whole different conversation that we can say for another day, but I'll say this before I let you go. Being chosen isn't about who initiates the conversation. Oh, being chosen is we're a little farther down the line, and it's the intentional, continuous, deliberate effort someone makes to choose you daily because they recognize your value and desire you. But anyway, more on that.
So I believe what she's saying, it holds a lot of value. That's why we have a lot of guys in the passport bro community. That's why you have so many men doing one of two things. Number one, they're visiting ladies in other communities in America. And in her particular channel, she's not saying black or white people, but with her feel, you would believe that she would have more of an African-American audience, right? So what you're seeing is a lot of black men, if they're having issues approaching black women, they will specifically put themselves in pockets where they're going to be interacting with non-black women who are a little bit more receptive to their advances. So this used to happen back when I was, in college. I would have some of my friends, they would tell me they would go up to Chico from Sacramento and they would be, dealing with women that would be more receptive to their advances that were white, right? This is no different than what you see black men going to the Colombias of the world or the Dominican Republics of the world, Brazils of the world, because women are going to be more receptive. Now, it is the case that, you have black women out there who want a man, but they don't want to give choosing signals. And then, guys are going to try to walk up and approach anyway, a cold approach. And sometimes, it will work, but a lot of men are intimidated because they have been told no so many times. And women can be looking very standoffish, like, yo, I don't want you to talk to me. And sometimes you can find out she's a really nice person, but it's kind of hard to get past that shell that, look, I don't want to be talked to, leave me alone. And a lot of times when you see women, you don't see them in the gathering of, let's say, a social party. For example, me and Austin Holloman just went to a social party that was sponsored by Tanqueray. And of course, guards were let down everywhere. And the reason was because it was for a particular social class of people. The food was included, drinks were included, everything like that. So the ladies there were quite receptive and people kind of knew who you already were. And that was different. But now if you're on the street or if you're at a local restaurant or a bar, and you're out there vibing and you're trying to know a young lady, it could be intimidating for a lot of American men. And again, if you don't allow a man to advance you, then you can't get to a relationship and then you can't get to marriage. And a lot of ladies are doing this to guys that are actually good guys. And, because you have a bad day or you're angry that day or something like that, then you're gonna let this, go past you. And then you wonder why you're single. Let's check out the next video that she's talking about and then we're gonna come back.
You never have to compete for what's meant for you. Can I free you real quick? Those women that you feel are getting attention from the guy that you like or who you see with the guy that you like, baby, those are your sisters. They're not your enemy and they're not your competition. And here's why. One, just because you see him with them or getting attention from him doesn't have to mean anything. Two, just because you like him doesn't make him yours, because if he ain't meant for you, he ain't meant for you. And he may not be meant for her either. And there you go with the odd against your sister when we're all in this thing together, just waiting for the one that God has for us. So remember, what's meant for you is meant for you. You don't have to compete for it. It's already yours.
I believe this is a mindset that a lot of women have. Now, there are some things I like about it. Like, listen, you don't really have to worry about other women as far as, being, jealous, because like in the business world, right? I believe in whatever niche economy that you're in, or just open economy, there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of money for everybody. That is my mindset. So I'm not jealous of somebody else. I'm not jealous of other YouTubers. I'm not jealous of other content creators, because I have that mentality. And I do like the fact that she is discussing that. However, when we talk about what God has for you, God has for you. I think that could be dependent on your outcome. If you don't have any effort in your life to achieve anything, what God has for you would be at that stage. And depending on your efforts, what God has for you is also at that stage. And again, we talk about competition in the marketplace, in business. We talk about competition in every other aspect except for the market or the dating market, which is also very competitive. And no man can ever say, whatever woman God has for me, he has for me. Yeah, I mean, some people are not going to work out with you. That's true. Just like in anything else, it's not going to work out. But you have to put yourself in a position to be able to say like, hey, I want this woman to be here, or I want to be this kind of man, or vice versa. And then when you're not doing that, what do you actually expect? So I see what she's trying to say, but there are some parts of it to be like, well, listen, what is your particular effort? What is your particular positioning? Because if you want a man that makes a certain amount of money, that comes from a certain social class, yeah, God just don't have that waiting for you if you don't want to participate and do efforts. And this is the situation. Women feel like whatever God has for them, God has for them. But then, for an example, if you need to get them, then there's a lot of things that you need to prove in order to get them, which it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But let's look at another video that she has, and then I'll come back.
You keep saying you're ready for your husband, but I don't believe you. I don't believe you because you've not done anything different than what you've been doing. You've not taken that list that society told you should have and ripped it up already. You won't invest in some services that might help you find your person. You won't get the coaching or the counseling that you need to deal with your own stuff. You would find it robbery to shoot your shot at a guy because you want him to pursue you. And he still can, even after you let him know that you're interested. But let me tell you this. If you're ready to do something different, if you're ready to turn things around so that you can find your husband, if you are ready to do away with what society has told you to do and do the things that you know you need to do to find the man that God has for you, let me know. I'll be here.
So this sounds like more of a sales or marketing pitch to get her particular services. And I'm not mad it's a sales strategy, but the general idea is that women are saying, I'm ready for a husband, I'm ready for my king. But of course, where is the work that you see that it's evident that you really want this? When it comes to men, when we say things that we want to lose weight, or we want to grow our business, or we want to be into business, or we want to strive for excellence, I think that men understand that you're going to have to change your behavior to get that. If you're looking for that outcome, whether that means you're going to delay your own gratification, you're going to dedicate your own personal time doing something else, whatever you need to do to achieve that particular outcome, that's something that you have to do. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need to do exactly just that. However, in the case of a lot of ladies, they're saying something and then meaning something else. And you even hear it as far as the guy that they want. They want a guy who goes to church. They want a guy who's a Christian. They want a guy who is a clean cut guy. But then you see what their actions is completely different, or it's it's a contraindication of the guy they're dealing with, right? It completely contrasts from the ideology they're putting out. And that is important because, ladies, if you're expecting something out of the world, you need to do something. You need to make the investment. And a lot of ladies can make the investment in business. A lot of ladies can make the investment in doing a lot of different things, except for when it comes to dating a man. And that investment is clear, or the lack of investment, or should I say divestment, is clear that you don't want to participate with this particular guy. This is a situation that we're going through here. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Make sure you subscribe and like, hit the bell. Check out Dating with Deidre. Check out Dating with Deidre, and we're out.